Hey, so. I've never really posted on here before. I mostly lurk, read the creepy stuff at night when I can't sleep. But after what happened a few days ago, I don't know where else to talk about it without sounding insane. Everyone I've told either laughs it off or gives me that look, like I'm 2 steps from a tinfoil hat. Anyway, I was on a solo road trip across Nevada. I've been doing this thing where I just pick a random route every summer, pack up my car with snacks, music, and a cooler, and just drive. No real destination, just exploring. I figured Nevada would be perfect because of all the wide open highways, the ghost towns, and that whole lonely desert aesthetic. I wanted quiet. Space. Just me and the road. For the first couple days, that's exactly what I got. Empty stretches of desert, the occasional gas station in the middle of nowhere, weird roadside attractions. It was peaceful, almost meditative. But I think maybe I got too comfortable. Too careless. Because if I hadn't, I probably wouldn't have made the wrong turn that started all of this. So, it was late afternoon when it happened. I had been driving for hours, sun blazing through the windshield, playlist on shuffle, and I spotted this narrow road branching off the highway. No sign, no mile marker, nothing. Just a strip of cracked asphalt leading deeper into the desert. And look, I know it sounds dumb, but that's kind of the point of these trips for me. Taking the weird little detours. Finding stuff no one talks about on travel blogs. So I slowed down, turned the wheel, and headed down this nameless road. At first, it was fine, empty desert, dry brush, that orange glow you get when the sun starts dipping low. But the farther I drove, the stranger it felt. There were no fences, no telephone poles, no abandoned houses like you usually see out there. Just endless sand and rock, like the land itself didn't want to admit people existed. After maybe 30 minutes, I realized I hadn't seen another car. Not one. No tire tracks either. That's when the road started getting rough, like it hadn't been maintained in decades. And then I noticed something else, the silence. My windows were down, but there was no wind, no crickets, no nothing. Just the hum of my engine echoing against the emptiness. That's when my stomach sank. I remember thinking, this isn't a road for people to find things. This is a road for things to stay hidden. The road eventually just ended. No warning, no dead-end sign, just broken asphalt that faded into dirt. I should have turned around right then, but curiosity got the better of me. I killed the engine and stepped out. The air was heavy and dry, like breathing through cotton. That's when I noticed it, way out past the hills, something was flashing against the darkening sky. At first, I thought it was a plane catching the last of the sun, but it wasn't moving like a plane. It darted side to side, then stopped dead still, then shot straight up. I just stood there, squinting at it, trying to rationalize what I was seeing. A drone? Some kind of experimental aircraft? But who would be flying it way out here, over nothing? Then I saw the ground. About 50 yards off the dirt road, half buried in sand, was this massive hunk of metal. It looked like military equipment, rusted, scorched, wires spilling out like guts. Not a plane, though. Not anything I recognized. Before I could take a step closer, the light in the sky dipped low. Way too fast. It was like it noticed me. I swear I could feel it looking at me. I panicked and dove back into my car, slamming the door like that would protect me from whatever it was. And that's when I saw headlights in my rearview mirror. At first, I was relieved. Headlights meant people. People meant safety. But as the beams grew closer, cutting through the desert dust, that relief drained fast. They weren't just headlights. They were perfectly aligned, 2 sets, side by side, matte black SUVs, identical, rolling silent except for the crunch of gravel. No logos, no plates. I turned the key, floored the gas, and my little beat-up Civic screamed back to life. The road was gone by then, just dirt and rock, but I didn't care. I just had to put distance between me and them. In the mirror, the SUVs followed without hesitation. No swerving, no bouncing on the uneven ground. Just gliding, like they weren't touching the earth at all. I tried to convince myself it was Border Patrol, or cops, or some desert security outfit. But when I cut hard right, hoping the rough terrain would slow them down, they moved in perfect sync, matching every turn like they were reading my mind. Then came the lights. Not headlights, the sky. That same darting glow I'd seen earlier suddenly streaked overhead, bathing the desert in a cold, white pulse. My radio went static. My phone on the passenger seat flickered on by itself, scrolling through menus like invisible fingers were swiping the screen. That's when I realized I wasn't being chased by people. Not just people, anyway. And God help me, I don't think they wanted me to get away. I don't actually remember how I got away. That's the part that scares me most. 1 second, the SUVs were on my bumper, the sky was glowing like a welder's torch, and every hair on my body was standing straight up. The next second, I was parked at a gas station off Highway 95, hands welded to the steering wheel, shaking so bad I could barely breathe. The clock on my dash said 3:17 a.m. The last time I'd looked at it, before everything went white, it was just after 9 p.m. somewhere in that gap. I lost 6 hours. My phone was dead, even though I'd left it charging. When it finally powered on, the screen was glitching, flickering between my home screen and this black background with a single string of numbers I couldn't recognize. When I tried to screenshot it, the whole phone froze and rebooted. And the worst part? I wasn't alone at the gas station. There were 2 men inside, both in dark suits. They didn't buy anything, didn't talk to each other, just stood near the back wall pretending to browse while staring at me in the reflection of the cooler doors. When I finally worked up the nerve to look at them directly, they smiled. At the exact same time. I left without buying gas. Just drove until the tank was nearly empty. It's been 3 days since that night, and I don't think I've slept more than a couple hours at a time. Every time I close my eyes, I see that white light burning through the desert. Sometimes I wake up and my phone is already on, camera app open, pointed at me. I keep telling myself I imagine the SUVs, the lights, the suits. That I was just tired, dehydrated, seeing things. But then why do I keep catching black cars parked across from whatever motel I check into? Why do I feel the buzz of my phone in my pocket, only to pull it out and find it's powered off? Last night, I woke up at 2 a.m. to the sound of gravel crunching outside my window. I was on the 2nd floor. I don't know if they meant to let me go, or if something went wrong and I slipped through. But I can't shake the thought that I wasn't supposed to survive out there. That whatever I saw, whatever I stumbled onto, it was never meant for my eyes. And now, everywhere I go, I feel it. That weight. That gaze. Like the desert followed me home. So if you're ever out in Nevada, and you see a lonely road with no signs, no markers, just asphalt leading nowhere, don't take it. Don't even slow down. Because some roads aren't there to take you where you want to go. They're there to make sure you never come back.